Jungkook can't talk, Jimin cries. What's behind this song? That night in Seoul was supposed to be ordinary. There is no concert schedule. There is no official live broadcast. However, the world changed in less than 3 minutes because of one song, one silent reaction, and one irresistible cry. The song was not announced, not officially released, only played briefly in a private listening session in the HYB practice room. But someone from the internal staff filmed the moment secretly, and within a short time, the video footage became widespread. What is recorded is not only sound, but Jungkook's silence and Jimin's tears, and since then, everyone asks, what's really behind the song? The leaked footage is only 2 minutes and 14 seconds long. In it, Jungkook's voice is heard singing in a low tone and almost in a whisper. The music is simple, the piano is slow, and the vocal vibrations are not edited at all. But it is precisely in simplicity that lies its strength. The lyrics are piercing. You said not to look back, but why did your shadows stay here? I talk in my sleep, but that voice is not mine. And after the verse was sung, Jungkook just shut up. The camera shows his face. Her lips trembled. His hands clenched, but not a word came out. Beside him, Jimin lowered his head, and the next second, his tears broke. Not a dramatic cry, not for the camera, but the tears of a friend who realized Jungkook was singing something too deep to explain. The fans started digging. The song is known to be titled Late Home, English version unconfirmed, a song never heard before in the BTS catalog. Many speculated that the song was written by Jungkook when he was going through a difficult time, perhaps during a break in BTS activities, or when his personal projects were halted. But what made it all the more painful was the confession of an internal producer who told local media Jungkook wrote this song in the middle of the night after a failed recording session. He didn't ask anyone for help. He just sat in the studio, turned off the lights, and recorded his own voice. The song, according to the producer, was not intended for release. It was a note of the heart, not the work of the market. But when Jimin accidentally found it a few weeks ago, he rewound the tape many times and finally begged Jungkook to let him play just once for their closest team, and that night, everything changed. Many soldiers wrote that they felt guilty for witnessing something that seemed too personal. One of the viral comments reads, "We want songs, but not at the price of their tears. We want to be happy when you sing, not watch you endure pain." And maybe that's the most sincere reaction of all. 2 days after the incident, Jungkook finally appeared on Weverse. It does not explain anything, not defend, not blame. He just writes, sometimes the voice cannot come out not because there is nothing to say, but because everything is too deep to voice. A few hours later, Jimin uploaded a photo of an empty studio recording with a one-word caption, "Sorry." And the fans know. They didn't apologize because the song leaked. They apologized because the feelings they should have kept to themselves are now the world's consumption. The days after the video was leaked felt like frozen time. Armies around the world continued to play snippets of the clip, even though it was just a little over 2 minutes long. But oddly enough, no one gets bored. Because every time you hear it, it feels like a new emotion is emerging. Sadness, loss, regret, and the strongest of them, longing. It's not just the longing for Jungkook and Jimin's music, but longing for times where BTS can show their human side without having to be strongly charged at all times. And that night, Jungkook's silence and Jimin's cries had opened a small door to the room that had been locked tight, a space that contains silent burdens that they keep to keep others from being disappointed. But now, they're visible, not as a superstar, but as two human beings who are exhausted by the pressure to continue to be perfect. According to internal sources, the song Late Home was written when Jungkook was experiencing a crisis of confidence. In the midst of unfinished projects, expectations from the agency, and pressure to show the best, he disappeared from public life for several weeks. Not for the holidays, but to hide from the demanding world is too much. At that time, only one person kept in touch with him every night, Jimin. I know he won't respond, but I still text every night. I just said, "Today you managed to survive. that's enough." Jimin, quoted from HYBE's staff, Jimin did not come as a colleague. He comes across as the only person who knows what it's like to stand in the spotlight while holding back tears. Jimin was there too. He knows that sometimes it takes just one non-judgmental voice to make someone last one more night, and Late Home is a record of such evenings. HYB has not released an official statement regarding the leaked clip, but it is known that internal parties are now tightening the storage system for personal projects of their artists. But from the limited discussion among the staff, there is one fact that is increasingly clear: the song will never be released. Not out of shame, but because it's not a song for the world. It was a letter to myself, and if we hear them today, it's not because they want to be heard, but rather because they end up too tired to hide it. A few days later, Jimin again appeared in the studio. He came alone, carrying a shabby notebook that since the Wings era had never been seen again. An audio engineer who knew him well told a touching moment. He opened a page full of scribbles. Then say, me and him used to always start from a blank page. Now, I want to help him write again. Let's not be late for home again. And from there, rumors began to grow. Jimin and Jungkook were working on a new song together. Not as a reply to a leaked song, but as a new form of old connection being restored. The new song has not yet been given a title, but some sources say Jimin wants to name it The Last Light, because according to him, as long as there is still one little light in the distance, it is never too late to go home. The world does not know if the song will be released. But one thing is certain, Late Home has changed the way the army sees their idols, not as a perfect hero, but as a man who dared to show his deepest cracks without fear of losing the love of those who really care. And when Jungkook is silent, when Jimin cried, millions of hearts demand no explanation, because in that silence, we all feel at home with them. That night wasn't about the music, not about success, not about the release or the stage. That night was about two hearts that were too full, too silent, then finally broke in silence. When Jungkook couldn't say anything and Jimin could only cry, the world they used to fill with sounds suddenly became silent. But therein lies its strength. As it turns out, not all songs have to be sung out loud to touch the soul. Not all stories need words to be understood, and not all wounds have to be shown in order to be felt. The song Too Late to Go Home may never be heard in its entirety. But precisely because of that, he is immortal. It lives in a space where music and taste meet without the pressures of the industry, without the demands of performance. There's just honesty, and amid the world's spotlight, two people who were once lost in glitter are now showing their most fragile sides, and it is precisely there they are most powerful. Army knows. It's not the trophies or charts that make them love BTS. But courage is like this when Jungkook chooses silence, and Jimin chooses tears, and the world chooses to listen without judgment, because in the end, every heart wants only one thing: a place to go home, even if it's late. And that night, through a song that was never meant to be released, we're all going home with Jungkook and Jimin. Now, the song Late Home has become a legend, not released, not available anywhere officially. But the piece continues to play in the hearts of millions, not because of the melody, but because Jungkook's silence and Jimin's tears have said it for us, that behind the glitter of the stage and the smiles of the cameras, there are wounds that never heal completely. There are songs that are not written to be played. There is a feeling that can only be captured through silence, and there comes a moment when one cry can explain everything. Jungkook can't speak, Jimin is crying, and we all finally understand.